Hi there everyone, you're watching Biology with Inshra, and so in this video here we're going to be discussing about transport in plants. This is a new chapter, and in this chapter we'll be working on as to how materials are transported or moved in a plant. Now there are a series of mechanisms that need to be understood, and they will be taught step by step. Okay, so let us begin with the chapter. So what do you mean by transport in plants? I have already mentioned that this chapter deals with the mechanisms as to how the different materials move around a plant, like how do they move, in what bundle or in what vessel do they move, and how is the system organized, right? So these are some of the things that we're going to be understanding, or we're going to be studying in this chapter. So if you just follow the pointer here, it says that transport in plants is important for the transportation of substances like water, minerals, ions, and some food and other materials that needs to be transported all over the plant with the help of the vascular bundle. Now I'm just gonna highlight this word here because this here is going to play a major role in our chapter. So certain materials like water, mineral, ions, food substances, and other important materials need to be transported around the plant, and this is done so with the help of the vascular bundle. Okay, so the vascular bundle consists of two major tissues. Okay, so there are two major tissues that make up your vascular bundle, with the first one being your xylem tissue and the second one being your phloem tissue. Okay, so there's some differences between the two types of tissues, but they both are found in the vascular bundle. So the xylem vessels here, their main function is to transport nothing but water and minerals. So basically your minerals and ions are dissolved in the water, and the water, that liquid, is transported in the xylem vessel. And if you have no idea as to what a vessel would look like, this is what a vessel would look like, right? And your water containing the dissolved minerals should be traveling like this, okay, just to get a basic idea. And then you have your phloem, which transports solids, transports food materials like starch. So I'm just gonna mention it here that your phloem transports solids. It's important to understand that your xylem vessels transport liquids like water, and the only liquid is water, and your phloem transports solids like some food materials like starch or sucrose, some examples, which are a type of sugar. Okay, so now that you have understood what is a vascular bundle, which means it consists of a xylem vessel and a phloem, let's understand the structure. Let's grab our highlighter and let's get to understanding. Now this here is your cross-sectional area. Just grab a different color pen. Yeah, so this here is your cross-sectional area of your stem, right? Stem. This is the cross-sectional area of your stem. This is what a stem should look like. Okay, and this is the region that we're studying, that we are magnifying to further understand, which you can see is right here. This one right here, right? So we're understanding this in further detail. Okay. So if you look at the cross-sectional area, the blue region here is your phloem, and the red region here is your xylem, which collectively give rise to the name called the Vascular Cambium or the vascular bundle. They both are the same thing. Now just to get into a bit more detail, this blue region is your phloem, this red region is your xylem, and they both collectively are called your vascular bundle or vascular cambium. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So we have understood the basic structure of your xylem or phloem, and that picture has been repeated again. So for your simplicity, this is your xylem, this is your phloem, the upper region is your phloem, and the region that is down below is your xylem. Okay, so let's talk about the xylem in more detail. Okay, the number of things to be understood here. Yes, so the xylem, just grab a better pointer for you guys. Okay, so it is composed of xylem cells. Obviously it's a tissue. Being a tissue, it's composed of its own kind of cells. It is made from a woody or a tough material called lignin. Now here's the thing to be understood here. What is lignin? Lignin is basically, you know, like a deposit, something like this. It's very thick, it's strong, it's tough, and it's like a woody material. And you can find this on the xylem vessels. The main function of the xylem vessel is to transfer water and minerals around the plant. Simple enough. Let's have a look at the diagram here. The diagram here is of your xylem vessel, right? Now when I say lignin, where is that lignin found? You see these ring-like structures here? Like at certain points, they may not be in a particular position. They may be in a varying position, or in other words, in a different position. Like in the case here, this one is straight, this one is slanted, this one is slanted to its opposite direction, and so on and on, right? In different directions. In this case here, the lignin is straight. It's in a much more neat and organized manner, and the arrangement of lignin is different in every xylem vessel. What the lignin does is that it prevents collapse. Like I said, just think of it as like this. This is your vessel. Like, consider this to be your xylem vessel. And the xylem vessel would fall or collapse, right? Had it not been for the lignin. But these lignin here, what they do is that they prevent the vessel from falling down or collapsing by giving it what? Support, right? So they give it support, and if had it not been for these lignin, then the xylem vessel would have collapsed. So the thing to be understood, there's one more interesting thing here, that our windpipe, the trachea, has ring-like structures that also prevents it from collapsing. So they both are playing a similar mechanism. Interesting, right? So just remember that this woody-like substance can be found sometimes even like this, you know, deposited at the edge, and they are deposited in such a manner that your lumen is the hole here, is not blocked, right? No blockage. Because if there's blockage, how can water travel? So how water travels is that water travels like this. It's liquid, right? It just travels until it is met with the leaf, where it can be used for photosynthesis, right? It is transported to the required parts with the help of the nucleus, because the nucleus is giving instructions as to where it should be going. Okay. So this is very simple. This is a very simple chapter, nothing much to be understood here. So let's talk about something in more detail. So the pathway for water and minerals through the xylem. Now there are three things to be understood when studying about the xylem vessel. So the first thing is your root pressure here. The second thing is your capillary action, and the third thing is your transpiration stream. Now these are some of the things that need to be studied in detail, step by step. So let's start by studying your root pressure, right? What is root pressure? So this here is a picture, and if you look at here, I'll just grab a different pointer and let me run you through what each individual part is. So this whole thing here is your root hair cell, okay? This here is your soil, it's labeled as well, and the blue film of moisture is your water. The red dots are your ions, okay, mineral ions. This here is your vacuole, and this long tube here is your xylem vessel connecting to the rest of the plant. And one other thing to understand here is that the blue region is water, and the red things are the ions that are dissolved in the water. So what happens first? What happens first is that from the soil, water travels through osmosis into the root hair cell, right? These root hair cells absorb water from the soil, and the water moves from osmosis, and there's some ions that are dissolved in the water, and they move through active transport. So what then happens is that, let's use a blue colored pen to show the movement of water containing your dissolved ions. Water keeps moving through osmosis from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration, entering your vacuole. Now it has entered the vacuole, okay? So now the concentration is more here, and it's less in the plant. So then again, from osmosis, your water moves from the vacuole into the xylem vessels. The xylem vessels are connected to the vacuole, and then you can see here that the blue region here is showing water, and the red region is showing your ions. They all move through osmosis into the plant, where they can be delivered and used for activities like photosynthesis, as we know that water is required for photosynthesis, right? So let's summarize. Water and your minerals enter xylem from the root hair cell via osmosis. This is the whole thing summarized in just a manner of words, right? So you can just read this and get the basic idea as to what I'm talking about. Now, I won't be covering capillary action and transpiration pull in this video. However, in the next video, we will be completing this full chapter. Everything, including capillary action, transpiration stream, and details about your phloem and everything else associated with this chapter will be completed. Like I said, it's easy, simple. Let's keep it short, and then I'll be making password video questions after this chapter is completed. So that's it for today. Like, share, follow, subscribe. For all the Facebook viewers and YouTube viewers, do give some support by sharing this out to many people, to as many people as you can, because this here is quality content for free. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, keep learning. See you next week.